Descendants 3 theories that may ruin the movie. Fans of the Descendants franchise worry no more. The wait for the next film is almost over, with a release set for this summer. But before you get too excited, we have to warn you that there are several theories out there that might just ruin Descendants 3. Get ready, because today we'll take a look back at Descendants 1 and 2, analyze what we know, and see if we can predict the events that may occur in Descendants 3. Let's get to it. Before we hop into the video, remember to subscribe and turn notifications on. Also, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below saying you did so, and we will try to respond to as many of you as we can. Mal's father. We're going to start with a big one. The trailer for Descendants 3, which was recently released to the delight of fans everywhere, shows our beloved Mal looking very closely at what appears to be a blue flame. It's likely that this scene is hinting at a major movie plotline, the mystery of Mal's father. As we all know, Mal is the daughter of Maleficent, the villainous witch that put Aurora to sleep in Sleeping Beauty. In the first movie, Maleficent had her daughter shipped off to Aradan Prep, accompanied by her 3 best friends: Carlos, son of Cruella de Vil, Jay, son of Jafar, and Evie, who is the daughter of the evil queen. Their goal is to retrieve Fairy Godmother's magic wand, which can be used to free them from the Isle of the Lost. Moving on to the second film, Mal returns to the Isle of the Lost after she convinces herself that she's not good enough for King Ben and not fit to be royalty. It is always possible a plot similar to these will dominate Descendants 3, but only time will tell. Throughout these 2 films, though, we never learn the identity of Mal's father. The closest we get is a cryptic assertion from Maleficent that he was a weak human. Considering it's the biggest mystery remaining, it would be logical for the series to address it now that we're on the 3rd film. So why has Maleficent kept his identity hidden from Mal? Some are convinced that Mal's father might actually be Hades, the god of the underworld from Hercules, and that would definitely be a tough one to explain to your daughter. However, aside from the fact that Hades is a confirmed character in the upcoming 3rd installment, there really isn't much evidence to suggest Hades is Mal's father. Of course, Hades isn't a weak human by any means. He isn't even human. So was Maleficent just lying? Well, we wouldn't put it past her. Others have suggested Mal's father might be Chernabog from Fantasia or Mor'du from Brave. We find the latter option less likely, considering the implications. This paternal plotline will definitely become a huge part of the franchise in the near future, because Mal isn't the only one missing a parent. Each of our mini-villains was raised by a single parent as far as we can tell. Whether or not we learn who Mal's father is in this movie, we still need to be on the lookout for clues as to where Jay, Carlos, and Evie's mystery parents are. New villains. Descendants 3 is sure to throw a new villain or 2 in the mix when it's released this summer. But what about villains from the past? Uma, the daughter of Ursula, was introduced as a villain in the 2nd film and made her mark very quickly. She'll definitely play a part in the 3rd installment, but we aren't quite sure if she'll be fighting with or against Mal and friends. Though we do meet Lady Tremaine's daughter, Dizzy, she's never really portrayed as a villain. She does live on the Isle of the Lost, though, and Dizzy isn't likely to meet many positive influences there. So are either Uma or Dizzy eyeing the villain's throne in Descendants 3? Well, the internet isn't rooting for them. It appears that a lot of fans are hoping to see some fresh faces vying for power in the kingdom. Maybe there are a few big bads hiding amongst the students at Aradan Prep, or possibly another new character from the Isle will swoop in to mess everything up, prompting Mal and the crew to save the day once again. After all, Disney has a huge pool of characters from which Descendants 3 could draw, and we wouldn't put it past them to become their own worst enemies either. The group of misfits might just break apart like they did in the 2nd film when Mal returned to the Isle of the Lost. Maybe we'd see a showdown between the boys and the girls, or maybe Ben falls for someone else and breaks Mal's heart. Fans of the franchise would surely be devastated, but the storyline would definitely add some intense drama to the film. Of course, we hope Ben doesn't break Mal's heart, but we're at the mercy of the writers at this point. Death. As we've stated in previous videos, Disney's been making moves to enter uncharted territory in recent years by adding increasingly mature subject matter to their films. Considering the events that could unfold in this movie, we think it's safe to say that even death is a possibility. For example, one of the kids might have to deal with the death of a parent, whether from old age, sickness, or even a fight over power on the Isle. Depending on the circumstances, a death could really spice things up and move the plot along, and it would definitely be an unexpected twist. Maybe Descendants 3 has learned a few things from its new Marvel counterparts and cooked up an epic, deadly battle between heroes and villains a la Infinity War. This is still a Disney movie, so we're calling this improbable, but not impossible. Music. Disney is, in general, very well known for the catchy and well-produced musical numbers placed throughout their movies, both animated and live action. Some people still have Frozen's Let It Go stuck in their heads, and The Little Mermaid's Under the Sea will forever be a classic sing-along song. We can expect a heap of new songs in Descendants 3, each adding to the story in its own way and providing plenty of material for your next group karaoke night. So what can we expect to hear when we fire up the speakers this summer? We'd be willing to bet there's a fight song in there, but there are two kinds of fight songs. One about determination, the other about a physical altercation. Since the second film featured It's Going Down, a high-energy battle anthem during which the characters meet on Uma's ship for a showdown, we'd love to see this film center on a powerful message of self-confidence and drive. But honestly, any fight song they give us is going to be epic, so we'll be happy either way. We can also be pretty sure that there's a love ballad in our future, as Ben and Mal are, as far as we know, still together. The same could be said for Carlos and Jane. There may even be a new romantic relationship that we haven't been introduced to yet. But for now, let's focus on the most likely candidates, Ben and Mal. The pair has been together since the first movie, holding tight to a strong bond, even when a spell was cast forcing Ben to magically fall for Uma. Only true love's kiss could break that spell, and Mal was happy to provide one. The chemistry between Ben and Mal is clear as day during songs like Did I Mention and You and Me. There's an unmistakable love and admiration in their eyes that is captivating to an audience. So we're fully expecting that the creators will hone in on this powerful duo once again with a ballad we can all get behind. Character development. Another important piece of the puzzle in these films is the character development. We've already alluded to some changes that may come about as a result of the expected plotline centering on Mal's father. But what else is changing? Or better yet, who? One familiar face we know and love may not end up looking so familiar after all. As we've learned during the first two films, Ben is the son of Belle and the Beast, of Disney classic Beauty and the Beast fame. He's also in line to become king, ruling over the kingdom of Aradan, and we're hoping he'll have Mal by his side. We couldn't help but notice, though, that Ben has been displaying some rather beastie behavior as of late, like the intense roar he issued during the fight scene with Uma in the second film. Is there a side of himself he's been trying to hide? How will it interfere with his becoming king, or his relationship with Mal? Will he end up turning into a villain in part 3? We do believe Ben will pick the path of good, as he seems to be a genuinely kind-hearted person. However, evil is lurking around every corner, and we're not sure what the Beast in Ben has in store for Aradan. Another character we're expecting to see immense growth from is Carlos. Carlos is the endearing dog-hater turned lover who finally worked up the courage to ask out the apple of his eye, Jane, during Descendants 2. He's got a big heart, and in the second film, he even offers up some girl talk to Mal when she needs a friend. We're excited to see what's been going on with him and Jane since the second film ended, or if they didn't stay together after all, we'd love to see a new romance blossom for him. Just make sure to stay away from Mal, Carlos. She's taken. Descendants 3 ending. For our final theory today, we're going to make a bold claim and say we may have cracked the code to figuring out how Descendants 3 will end. The teenage cast of characters are all getting older, and they'll soon graduate from Aradan Prep, provided they stop fighting evil long enough to go to class. And they'll move on to seek out their place in the real world. As this is the third film in what we expect to be a trilogy, we're working off the assumption that this will be the final film in the series. However, it's still possible that the success of the third film will spur calls for a fourth, and Disney may jump at the opportunity to cash in once more. If the kids do end up graduating, a fourth installment just doesn't make sense. The actors, like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, will likely move on to projects that are a little more grown up. Sources have already admitted that if there were to be a fourth film, it would have to happen without the full original cast, as several of the actors have made it clear that they'd like to pursue other things. Now, graduation isn't the only option here. What if they don't graduate yet, and we get a cliffhanger instead? That would be a pretty solid hint that a fourth movie, one with the full original cast, was in the works. While this is definitely possible, we doubt it will come to fruition, as the time, cost, and commitment it would take from Disney, the directors, and the actors seems too high at this stage in the game. So we can safely predict that the ending to Descendants 3 will revolve around our main characters reaching early adulthood, finding their places in life, and moving on. Conclusion. We've managed to come up with quite a few theories for Descendants 3, and we're sincerely hoping that at least a few of them prove true, because it would definitely make for an exciting film. There are still so many possibilities to consider though, as Disney's been very stingy with details about the upcoming movie. Either way, we're looking forward to summer 2019 when Descendants 3 is finally released. What theories do you have on Descendants 3? Have you heard any that we didn't cover? Leave a comment down below and tell us. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to spend with us. If you enjoyed our thoughts on Descendants 3, please give this video a thumbs up so we know you want more content like this. And stick around because the fight between good and evil continues on in 2019 as Disney and Pixar bring us a plethora of soon-to-be classics, including Frozen 2 and Toy Story 4. InZone is here to cover it all, so hit that subscribe button for more theories, thoughts, and deep dives into all things Disney. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.